Today, I want to get into V feeling unsafe and what he said about this. I also want to get into a new rumor involving Dispatch and the V Jennie rumor. And then we want to talk about a viral tweet of someone talking about hurting V over said rumor. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave Desai, hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, hey Spling Work merch, and let's go. There's been a lot of drama and literally all V has done is stepped onto a plane. I'll get into the recent V and Jennie rumors in a little bit, but we need to give some context to all the drama surrounding what has happened leading up to the recent trip that V took when he hopped on a plane. If you are not aware, there is a big problem with dating among K-pop idols. I'll circle back to this, but the problem doesn't just come from one source. When people think of someone getting, let's say, canceled, it actually rarely ever the thing that they're being canceled for. It's because they did one thing that one or a small group of people didn't like, and then the celebrity ends up getting canceled for the hundreds of other things that they did in the past before they were famous or had already taken accountability for. But since the people that are often canceling this celebrity are not usually fans of that celebrity or keep up with that celebrity, they don't know that those issues had been acknowledged already, and instead of looking into that, everyone then collectively just tries to cancel someone for something that had already been dealt with. The majority of people who cancel a celebrity are people who haven't even ever heard of that celebrity until that moment, which is why so many American celebrities use scandals as a promotion tool to get their name out there. So I hope that makes sense. Now, with dating, the many hate sources that the hate is coming from are from people who believe they're dating the idol, and then thus when the idol tries to date other people for real, it crushes that person's fantasy and snaps them to reality, which obviously they're not going to love. And then the second source of hate is coming from ships. And I've defended ships many times on this page before because I do believe the majority of ships are not bad. But it's when people take it too far, and I'm about to show you exactly how far these people take these ships. And this is why idols don't like to admit they are dating. There was a tweet that went viral where someone expressed their hatred towards V. And in the paragraph they wrote, they expressed how it used to be just small hate and disregard, and now it has turned into wanting V to be dead. It's very interesting to write something like this and to feel so strongly about someone who didn't do anything, because the hatred comes from where? It's not exactly specified where in their paragraph. And any sane person reading the paragraph will think that V did something really bad. This hatred is typically reserved for pedos and murderers, which obviously V is not. Funny enough, these are the people who could give two whatevers about pedos and murderers continuing to live. They don't hate those people that much. They hate someone who literally did nothing. So what is actually the reason they hate V so much? Well, apparently this person is a shipper, and they tend to lean on the idea that Jungkook and V are dating because of this idea that V may not be dating Jungkook. Since the rumor believes he is dating Jennie, this makes the shipper so mad that they want V to not exist anymore, which is so weird to me because the reason this person likes V was only because of who they thought V was dating, not because V is happy. If he is actually dating Jennie, then I am assuming he's happy. So this person never liked V and never wanted V to be happy. So this person would be more happy if V was in a relationship that didn't work out. Like for example, if V and Jungkook were confirmed dating and then they broke up and V is dating Jennie, that means V and Jungkook were unhappy in that relationship and probably happier as friends. Plus, you can obviously see that the two still get along and are happy when you see them at award shows or events. So what's the problem? I honestly want to have a one-on-one conversation with these people because I am so curious about their mindset. Not even to bash them or throw hate, just genuinely curious where this comes from. Because the fact that they just won't outwardly say it's because of the ship means that they know it's embarrassing to hate someone over something that isn't confirmed. And to hate V on two things that are not confirmed. Taekook was never confirmed, and V and Jennie are still not confirmed. V talked about feeling unsafe a little while ago with stalker fans, and specifically talked about being unsafe when he is on a plane, and people will specifically buy tickets just to sit right next to BTS, so this made V feel like he couldn't be himself or do any of the normal stuff that they may do. The members are typically very touchy on screen. They could also be touchy off screen, and a lot of that they may feel uncomfortable doing, as that's going to make them feel like the stalker fan may leak that stuff on the internet and take it out of context. Even photos of the members in compromising positions are going to make the members look bad. V talked about this during a live stream where he said it's really scary. Of course, I think most of us can understand that this action is really scary, but just like every person who does bad things, they try to minimize it in their head in order to justify it. Because if you know you did a bad thing, it's hard to live with yourself unless you're a psychopath. And even then, those people still try to justify the bad things. Oh, I killed them because they were bad to society or whatever. So I want to emphasize how bad it is to stalk someone on the plane. There is never a reason to do that. The members are going to be terrified. They're going to think if you have the power to be able to track their flight and even book a seat right next to them, which means these people also found out where exactly the members are sitting, the members are only going to be more scared of what else you will do. Given the viral tweet and the things I mentioned just now earlier, you can very much see how mentally unstable some people are. These people are literally causing trauma. Many of the BTS members are friends with people who had been heavily affected by stalkers, and some stalkers tried to kill the idols. Constantly being in fear that you're going to die is not anything any kind person would want to give another person. Your gift for being an amazing idol is to fear life. Here you go. It's not only the flight now, but it seems like the members are followed home and to the gym and many other situations that make situations like this seem bad. And I know a lot of people who attempt to follow the idol to the gym or wherever are not doing it with malicious intent. They're not trying to hurt any of the members. Otherwise, they would have tried, right? But it's still very bad to do it. And please stop scaring them and let them live their life at least somewhat normally. If you're this obsessed with an idol when you're stalking them and trying to get this close, you also need help. So not just the people sending threats over unconfirmed shifts, but also stalking. V was recently on a plane and there was some fear of stalkers, but fear not because no one was really at the airport, and I'll explain. I initially thought only a few reporters showed up, but it turned out everyone believes it was just dispatch that showed up when V decided to fly recently. And it was believed he was actually on a private unscheduled trip. So this was believed to be a personal trip. Again, I said believed as in rumored and alleged, but I do believe that it could be true. We can look at the recent flight and have no information as to where he is flying, not that it's our business, but we have no idea, and there's also no fans that showed up really, and it was believed to only be dispatched there, which is the only news site that is rumored to have a relationship with BTS members. People were saying that V was angry or upset at dispatch, or upset that dispatch showed up because when dispatch asked V a question, he just gave a very short and simple answer. However, I don't believe V is mad. He still greeted the reporter kindly and still answered the question. If he were to give them all his attention and answer with a very long answer, it would definitely make it appear like V called dispatch to show up. It was also believed that Jennie had posted a story where she was on a flight, and then we see V also on a flight. People connected these two to say that they were both flying to meet. And I think this as a standalone theory makes no sense because, I mean, the two are idols with busy lives. They could be flying, so this also means if they both were flying on different days, suddenly they're not dating? No, because people would also assume that they were going to meet each other anyway. So as long as the idols are flying, they're dating apparently. People believe since where V landed is still a mystery, it must mean that he will be landing in Japan. Jennie was currently believed to be flown to an event hosted by Chanel, and Jennie seemed to have had a busy day that day. And people believe that V was on his way over there to meet her and maybe see her after. That is definitely a possibility, but given how much Jennie did that day, would she really be down to go on a date after her day is over, or would she prefer to just go to sleep? And they were believed to have just met in Paris only less than a week ago, I think, so they could definitely wait a bit longer to see each other. And V has currently landed in his mystery location, and there is still currently no video footage or anything of V at Jennie's event. People were also saying that a big reason why V is in Japan with Jennie now is because this is the only couple that Dispatch has not posted, which makes no sense to me. Dispatch, a news company, has not posted about a couple dating means that they're dating. Not that Dispatch just may not have enough information about the two. Dispatch has reported on Jennie's relationship before many times, and guess what? Female idols are usually the ones that have the hardest time getting their career back and running after a dating rumor because of the slut shaming and death threats they get. And yet we see Jennie literally up and running and totally okay. So I also think that if the rumors are true and not a publicity stunt, why wouldn't they just go ahead and announce it? Anyway, just my theories. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.